Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live today from our Asentiv Mastermind Community members. Excited to have you here with us, as our goal is going to be to answer this question: how to tell customers about price increases. And we actually have a handful of folks joining us today to help have this conversation on how to tell customers about price increases. They are going to be sharing their thoughts on this topic. So as we think about price increases, why? Oh, and if you're not talking, you may want to mute yourself because we hear your ice. What's going through your head as we think about this conversation around price increases? What comes to mind for you? I'm going to turn it over to Jason first.
Well, obviously coming from the building and construction industry, it's all over the news. And every day we're hearing about lumber was inflating. Well, lumber came back down a bit, but electric, plumbing, HVAC, they all went up. I don't foresee them returning anytime in the near future. Labor doesn't tend to come back to where it was. Once you pay somebody one amount and then pay them a larger amount, it's really hard to take it away.
Gotcha. What are your thoughts, Sean, on this idea of, how to tell customers or this whole conversation we're having?
It's interesting because I don't really have repeat customers. So, for me to raise prices, customer A may be a lower price than customer B, but what I've got to defend against, or what I've got to have in my mind is, well, what if customer A referred me customer B, and customer A got a lower price and then customer B got a higher price? And so now if they talk to each other and why did one get a lower, why did one get a higher, I then have to say, well, your cases are different, your facts are different, you came to me 2 years apart, whatever. So I don't necessarily have repeat customers that I can say, we've had a price increase, but I do have to be aware of what do I charge and how do I charge and when is it time across the board just to have a price increase.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. So I know we were talking as we were getting ready for this conversation today about, how do we communicate with our clients that we have a price increase? And I know Tom, who's having technical issues, shared, he's really passionate about it because what happens when you don't tell customers about price increases? So, Tom.
Well, my philosophy around price increases involves 3 words: early, often, and why. I can't recall how many places I've gone through for haircuts in my lifetime. And you get your haircut, you go up to the counter, and the price is different than it was the last time. Oh yeah, we had a price increase. That's happened to me multiple times in life, and Sean, I'm sure that's happened to you as well. And the other thing is, I mentioned early, often, and why. Recently, I had a vendor of mine send an email, broadcast email out to all their clients. We're increasing our rates from $120 to $180 to better serve our clients, our customers, but with no explanation of why there's a 50% increase other than to better serve you. And the first question I'm going to be asking this vendor the next time I'm on the phone with them is, how are you going to better serve me that justifies you increasing your prices by 50%? Early, often, and why. That's all I got to say about this.
Excellent. Love it, Tom. And so as we look at this, okay, we get kind of the why we would, what's going on. So how do we tell customers about price increases? And that's the question. And that question actually came to us from an Asentiv Mastermind Community meeting. This is where we've got people that get together to get support. And so the question was, how do I tell my customers about a price increase? So open it up to our fellow Asentiv Mastermind Community members. Who wants to tackle this question first? All right, Jason.
Okay. I'll be happy to go first, Tiffany. Same as where I started with this. I simply convey to customers, have you seen the news lately? Have you seen what's been going on out there in our industry? But then I followed that up with a contract that's specific. And I actually had to, in recent months, revise that contract. I have a little stronger language about potential price increases that may happen during the course of a project. because a big project like I handle, a $60,000 job is going to be projected out over time. And from the time where it's sold to the time where it begins to the time where it actually ends can be months, many months. And so if the prices escalate during that period of time, now I have to be able to inform them of a price increase. And otherwise, it can put me out of business. So it's a necessary thing to have to inform them. And I've told all of my sales representatives to, don't fear it. Come in with confidence. It is what it is. This is the price. This is the world we live in today, and we're all sharing in the pain.
Yes. So sometimes there is external things happening. I know chicken wings right now are like the big thing. Everybody's freaking out about because they're like uber expensive nowadays. Chicken wings, who would have thought? And like the restaurants are putting them at fair market value on the menus, which kind of is crazy because if you think about, the history of chicken wings, this is like the worst part or the part that we're not selling. So like, let's try and sell them for cheap. Now chicken thighs are going to be the new chicken wings, it seems. So sometimes, we do have that price increase with external forces. Shannon, go ahead.
I was going to say, I have it easy sometimes because in a bankruptcy case, we have to prove up our fees and that our fees are reasonable to the bankruptcy court. And so bankruptcy court got together with all the debtors' attorneys, creditors' attorneys, trustees, judges, everybody got together, maybe about 10, 15 years ago now, and said, if we as a bankruptcy attorney here in Tampa are going to do a Chapter 13 case, a reasonable fee for that case is X. And the court built in cost of living increases, cost of inflation increases every 2, 3, 4 years. And so, when prices go up to do a Chapter 13, I can say, well, that's what the court set in its hearing. And every bankruptcy attorney in Tampa is going to charge you right around the same thing, or they're going to charge you more and they're going to have to prove up their fees to the bankruptcy court when they file your case. So I've sort of got that built-in excuse as well to say why my fees might have to go up every couple of years for a Chapter 13 case.
Gotcha. Love it. Thank you. Shannon, what are your thoughts on this question of how to tell customers about price increase?
Well, on mine, I do have monthly clients that are reoccurring. I do have yearly clients, and then I have one-off clients type thing. So it's easy when it's just a new client because that's what you set the price at. But when you have a client, so I have a bunch of clients that I've had for years, and they got in at a very low price, and now we do CFO services and advisory, and so we've hired CPAs and other EAs, and so the cost on my side has gone up exponentially, but they don't care. And I've slowly increased their prices, but mainly what I'm here to do, because that's been fine, just sending out an email blast and going, hey, we're going to take a look at each individual account that we have on a monthly basis and do a review to see if we need to add or anything like that. And then we forewarn them 3 months ahead of time that, hey, in January, this is what's going to happen. That's what we're doing now. However, where I'm here and interested in is all the clients that I've had for a long time that are like 75% lower, because, in the beginning, from 5 years ago, when you're really just hungry, or 10 years ago when you first started up, how do you switch them over to a higher price? That's where because they got in at the grand opening, I guess you could say.
Well, and I think that takes us on a decent little tangent of, is price increase necessarily a bad thing?
I don't think so. As Jason has said, and Shannon, you could explain to your clients, the cost of doing business is up. What we were paying people to do 10, 15 years ago is a much different price than what we're paying people to do now, and other aspects of overhead have increased, and so on and so forth. But I do want to get back to Shannon at some point in time, because I think she's got an interesting perspective as a bookkeeper and an accounting from the perspective of she's probably constantly advising her clients on this question itself, or telling clients, if you don't increase your prices, you're going to be out of business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's affecting all of us equally. And my pool guy had to approach me several months ago to say that the cost of chlorine has gone up. It's now going to cost me an extra $20 a month to have my pool attended to. And when in my business, as it's going up, I mean, technically it's going to impact me positively because the cost of construction is what it is. And I make a specific percentage against the cost of construction. So if it's a bigger bill, it's a bigger percentage for me. And but now I'm going to take what I make extra and I'm going to go pay more for my milk and I'm going to go pay more for my food at the grocery store with inflation as it's going on. But as that food and milk and those materials grow up, that raises the bill at the restaurant, right? My meal's going to cost more. So then the waitress makes a bigger tip now based on the percentage. So it's a full circle. It comes all the way around.
It's the circle of life, right? Or at least the economics of it. Cool. Thank you. Tom, you want to share what are your thoughts on how to tell customers about price increase? Or did you have something else to add? I know we've covered a little bit.
No, I have nothing else to add. Again, early, often, and why.
Gotcha.
Those of you who are out there, that's my philosophy. Because you will reach a point in increasing your prices where concept in economics, the price elasticity of demand, you will begin to lose clients because of your price increases. And you know what? That's okay, because chances are when you started your business, you were looking to do business with somebody, anybody, and everybody. But as time goes on, your clients mature. You find your sweet spot of your clients, and it's okay to let some clients go who maybe were right for you in the beginning. But right now, you're looking for a bigger, better, faster client. So it's what every professional sports team does every single year. They move off the team some of their players that don't fit anymore, and they bring in new players that are going to help them win a championship. And I think that's how you have to think of your business in terms of your clients. What clients am I going to let go this year to make room for bigger, better, faster, stronger, higher profit margin clients?
Yeah, and to piggyback off what Tom had just said, also I want more quality rather than quantity. In the beginning, it's quantity, and then at the end, or where we're at now, is finding more quality clients and trying to, do more of the advisory side and everything else. So our models changed a little bit as the economy is changing.
Did it look like you wanted to add something, Jason?
Be aware, though, that you're going to have clients that have unreasonable expectations. Mm-hmm. And it exists. But that full circle comes around. Tom said you might lose a client, but if all the rest of them are paying a little more, did you really lose anything? It's that full circle. So I believe you always need to be, very specific about the target and who's right for the business and who's not. Sometimes those people who are squeezing a little too much might be the biggest pain in the neck to have to work with. It might be your most challenging customer while you're making the least, on it. So sometimes those who are just okay with the fact that, yes, it costs what it costs, and they believe you're going to present the right value and the more quality labor or the better response time or the faster, whatever the thing is that your business offers, the service or the product. I think those that will buy it from you at the price point that you list will probably be your best customers, and those who are always trying to tell you why it should cost less are probably going to be a little more difficult.
Well, and that we're working also on our time frame, our timeline, doing Microsoft projects, so that way they have better realistic expectations, because they assume they hire you and you're going to fix everything within the month. And they didn't get here a month. It took them years to usually get there to clean it up. So
we actually charge what we call a PETA fee, pain in the rear end. If we can tell the client's going to be a pain in the rear end at the beginning, we charge a little bit more for that. And I had a client who I worked with before. I did have a repeat client come in last month. We'd worked with her years ago, and she was a complete pain in the rear end. And I quoted her higher, and she said, "Your prices have gone up since the last time I was here." I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "Well, I don't know if I want to pay those prices." I said, I apologize, but as
I
we're a
understand.
flat fee firm, that fee is the fee, and we're happy to work with you, or we can send you on to, a competitor. I didn't say this, but a competitor I dislike, or something like that, or a referral partner maybe that's looking to grow their business. So, and it worked out. I don't have to deal with the client. I've got other clients that are paying me good money and working on their files.
That's the best case scenario when they fire themselves.
Right.
Well, and I like what Sean just said there too, because in my own world, I know what projects I'm looking for. I know which ones aren't a fit, but I try to not leave anybody with a no, I can't help you. Instead, it's I'm not the perfect fit for this one. I'd hate to have to charge you more than what's necessary. And let me recommend somebody else in town who might be able to accommodate you. And they appreciate receiving those referrals. That actually works out in a relationship that feeds me back some opportunity. But truth be told, all these projects I'm giving away that I didn't want are the ones that are going to slow you down and bog you down. So let's let the competition have them.
Love it. And I love having conversations like these. It was a couple of years ago when we started our mastermind meetings. And this is where we get together with 6, 8, 10 of us. And everybody comes with a question and poses a question and says, hey, here's, my situation. Here's what I've got going on. What are your thoughts? What are your suggestions? What are your feedback? And then we sit around the Zoom room. I mean, we used to do it in person at a restaurant, but now you've got people that come from all over the country. So it's nice because we can Zoom, less travel time, where we get the opportunity just to share ideas, because sometimes we just need that person to bounce ideas off of. And so I'm super excited that Tom, Jason, Shannon, and Sean were able to join me. And I really wanted to quickly turn it over to each of them so they can introduce you. You're like, who are these people that are sharing all of this? These are all members of our Asentiv Mastermind community. So I'm going to kick it over to Sean first so he can tell us who he is, what he does, why he loves the Asentiv Mastermind. So Sean, you're on.
Yeah, thank you. So my name is Sean Yesner. I own Yesner Law. We're a law firm here that services the Tampa Bay area. We help people who want to have more money at the end of the month rather than more month at the end of the money. So basically, I help people get out of debt, whether that be filing bankruptcy, suing their creditors, negotiating away their debts, whatever. What I love about that mastermind community, I am a solo practitioner. Well, I'm slowly building the law firm. I've got an associate attorney and I've got a couple of staff, but at that high level, it gives me an opportunity. I've worked with Jason. I've bounced ideas off Shannon. Tom and Tiffanie have been invaluable. The other members of the mastermind community have been great in terms of answering questions, whether it's how do I approach this employee about their review, or what do I do about my annual employee year-end review, and even down to personal questions about how do I keep myself motivated. I mean, it's a great check-in on a regular basis to make sure that I'm where I need to be so that I can service my clients and my firm to the best of my ability.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sean. Glad to have you with us. Shannon, turning it over to you.
Sure. I'm Shannon with Eclipse Accounting and Tax. We're located in Palm Harbor, and we help reduce expenses for our clients, increase their profits, and more importantly, keep more money in their pocket, give less to the IRS. And we do this all through Profit First, as we're getting certified with that. And what I like about this is, as business owners, with Asentiv, we are usually, as business owners, you're the top of the tier. And so you don't really have a lot of other, besides your staff or other peers in your networking group. This is a way for all of us to come together with our specific issues and problems, or what we want to work on. And this group helps us stay accountable, and we get a second opinion. We figure out what other issues. We may even find issues that we didn't know we had, but they have the solutions for. And that's what I like about Asentiv.
And I'm frozen, so I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully we can kick it over to Tom.
Sure. Can you hear me okay? Thumbs up? Yeah, cool. So I'm in the same mindset as Sean and Shannon. You know, it's lonely at the top. You've constantly got clients, customers, patients, employees throwing up at you as the business owner, and literally at times. And it's frustrating. And, you know, people take shots at the leader. And so it's great to be able to get together in a mastermind community with people who are in the same exact situation that you're in and share war stories, share concerns, share questions, get empathize and commiserate with other leaders in the business community, just to let you know that you're not alone in your worries and concerns and things that keep you up at night. And the masterminds are just a great way to generate some peace of mind that you are indeed heading in the right direction as an entrepreneur, as a solopreneur. Because when you're out there by yourself, let's face it, we question ourselves every single day. And having a community of people that you can lean on and get advice from at least gives me the confidence and the inspiration that what I'm up to and the direction that I'm heading is the right track to be on.
Awesome. Kicking it over to Jason.
Sure. I'm Jason Avery. I own Avery Construction, which is a remodeling business all over the greater Tampa Bay area. We complete about 80 projects a year, big projects. We have a partnership into a custom cabinet company called Designer Cabinets LLC, where we manufacture all wood cabinets from scratch, and we sell them to contractors at wholesale prices. This opens the door to my best referral partners, the contractors of the world, the architects of the world, and the interior designers of the world. We collaborate with these people on a regular basis, passing referrals to and from. As we know, this is a giver's gain world, and that's how my business functions, and that's also how Mastermind functions. And I show up to Mastermind, with a giving state of mind. I'm sure my experience, my connections with people, my networks that I'm associated with will be of help to some people who are still maybe up and coming or growing in their business. And when I'm able to provide good advice, resources, when it helps motivate people, it inspires people. And then what happens? They end up doing something fantastic for me. They make some great connection that really pays me back. And so, I'll use Mastermind to gain golden nuggets of information from other people's experiences. But sometimes just having that sounding board and being able to speak it out loud to some peers, you can almost sort of sort out your own problems sometimes. And you just have to, and I got to sort of filter it through a couple times to weed out what doesn't work and keep what does, and then go out and, deliver. So Mastermind is definitely a very powerful tool. It's a platform. That's all. It's a platform, and it's a tool. And if you use the tool, and it's amazing what can happen. Sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. So for those that haven't attended a Mastermind, I suggest you show up and find out.
Yeah, and if you're interested, you can definitely in the comments below with the video share, hey, I'm interested, and myself, I will reach out and invite you to an upcoming Mastermind. And I apologize, my computer's frozen. I'm just glad we're still live because it's showing not responding, so I can't change anything on the computer screen. But before we log off, I'm wondering, anybody else have anything they want to add to our conversation of how to tell customers about a price increase?
I'd like to hear your perspective, Tiffany. Do you have a perspective on what's your advice on how to tell customers about a price increase?
To me, I think it is important to communicate. It doesn't have to necessarily be the all of the why. Sometimes we're doing it because we've got some, some reasons that are private we may not want to share with our customers. However, I think sharing what's in it for them, here's the impact for you. Here's what this price increase is going to entail. And, if it's a little one, it's just kind of cost of living, people will understand it. If it's a massive one, but there's a reason behind it, I think when people know the why. Now, it doesn't have to be, again, all of the why. When people know the why, that will definitely help them understand why the price increase is happening versus just, hey, here's a price increase. And I don't know that you want to tell them, 5 years in advance, but I think giving them notice is definitely an important thing. The last thing we want to do is be shocked when we get a bill, or we've already gotten the product or service and it's way higher than we were anticipating. I think nowadays people understand life, prices are going up, and whether that's whatever you want to point it out to, it is life that way.
Tiffany, I agree so much. Tell them the story. I tell my team all the time, I said, deliver the news. It doesn't matter if it's good news or bad news, deliver the news. And you don't let things wait, because, again, if they find out after the fact it's going to cost them more, that's certainly going to be an unpleasant conversation. And finding out up front, not pleasant, but they'll get over it. And so, but you got to deliver the news, good or bad. Don't avoid the conversation by any means. And even for yourself, like somebody like Shannon who's got, accounts going on, if you're avoiding having that conversation, you're hurting yourself in the meantime too. And bringing down your average sale, bringing down your margin, absolutely. Shave off the bottom and keep adding to the top.
Love it. I know for me, probably the best thing for me is on my reoccurring, that I contact them personally, whether it's phone call or email, because I deal with them on a monthly basis anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think sometimes we have to communicate in a mass way, but I think anytime we've got a price increase, if we can personalize it in some way, shape, or form, whether that's communicating with them the way they like to be treated, that definitely makes an impact and can be powerful.
Tiffanie Kellog, Asentiv, I want to thank you for hosting and facilitating this conversation today, because I think it is a question that business owners, if they don't wrestle with, they should be wrestling with it. And yes. I just appreciate all the work that you do with Asentiv, whether it's facilitating masterminds or running our flagship program, Ignite Your Business, or Room Full of Referrals with Jason, where we're understanding how to increase our relatability through profitability. And we all know that what you're all about is helping people save time, make money, and have fun. And I just hope that more people come along for the ride, because it's a good ride in creating a spectacular,
amazing business and spectacular life that Jason loves.
Yeah, that's what we're all driving for, right? Amazing business, spectacular life.
I want to say thanks, y'all, for being here with us, even though we're having some fun technical issues on many sides, such as life nowadays. Thank you so very much. We'll be coming with you with more of these Asentiv Mastermind Community questions in this live format. So hopefully we will see you at one of those lives as you're watching in the audience and commenting, and or maybe we'll see you at an upcoming meeting. So thank y'all so much. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Happy networking, y'all.